Nothing but straight shooters here as we end our podcast session with the weekly dose version of the questionnaire that was used masterfully for 24 years by the great James Lipton inside the Actors Studio. And the first question is, Ryan Cunningham, what is your favorite drug?
Probably marijuana.
Marijuana, classic.
Yes.
You hear that, Pennsylvania? Get your act together. What is your least favorite drug?
I had a really bad experience with LSD when I was 18 that made me never want to do hallucinogenics ever again.
Yes. 18 is a very pivotal year. The doors of adulthood and perception opening. Yes. There's a lot to take in there. I'm glad you're still with us. A lot of times you take a turn at 18. It's a critical juncture. What age were you the first time you found yourself under the influence?
Pretty late, like 17, 18. I mean, I guess that's not that late, but I feel like for Pennsylvania it is.
Yes.
I kind of really bought into the anti-drug thing that I was raised with, even though I had two parents that were not exactly not drug users.
Not exactly not drug users.
Not exactly not, yes. And I think found me a little ridiculous. But it wasn't really until I actually went to Pennsylvania's Governor's School for the Arts, which was an amazing experience, and it was an amazing program that Pennsylvania used to have, and now they discontinued it because of funding, and now they're, putting more funding into the police force to take people to rehab.
Yes.
Instead of actually helping the students. But that experience that I had at Governor's School, and I didn't do drugs at Governor's School, but it really widened my perception of the world and made me realize how many things I hadn't seen or tried or experienced, and kind of, wanted to more. And I think I sort of dabbled a tiny bit into that. I say a tiny bit because I've never been like a massive drug user. But,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually an incredible experience there at the Governor's School. I'd like to hear more about that another time. What celebrity's overdose death has had the most profound effect on you?
I remember really being affected by River Phoenix.
Yes.
When I was a kid, I actually have a diary from that time period. I think I was like 14 when it happened, and I remember writing in my diary about it. I just remember it being incredibly sad.
Yes, a diary entry. Post Viper Room for young River Phoenix.
Post Viper Room, yes. I was really affected by the movie Running on Empty that he did.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Incredible.
And it just felt like such a tragedy.
Yes. Watched My Own Private Idaho recently. Me and Diana sat down and watched. What a picture.
Directed by a RISD graduate.
That's right.
As I am also a RISD graduate, I have to constantly point that out. Sorry.
Yes, indeed. Of course. You and Gus. What is your favorite slang word for cannabis? Your favorite drug? What's your favorite slang word?
I suppose it's pot. I always thought Mary Jane was kind of funny, but yeah.
Yes, Mary Jane's a little more lyrical, a little more fantastical.
Yeah,
I like Mary Jane.
But I literally never use it. So,
I mean, no, it's tough. It's tough to say. It's tough to say and try to have someone take you seriously. That's for sure.
Yeah, I tend to say pot. So,
yes.
Yeah.
What drug would you like to deal for a living?
Deal?
Yes.
Probably pot. Yeah.
Yes. We're going green today.
Yes, we're going green. Yes.
What drug would you absolutely not like to deal under any circumstances?
Well, I think also the thing with pot is that it, you can't die from it,
No.
and I would hate to deal or be responsible for giving drugs to anybody that can cause death.
Sure. So there's a lot on the list now outside of pot, and contrary to some of the media reports, there's no fentanyl in the pot out there. That's a ridiculous thing that people are saying. It's not real. We're back to those days of, you don't know what they're sprinkling in. You don't know what you're getting with that. Now the weeds has never been more pure and quality. Certainly high in THC content. But you're going to get yourself some weed that does not have fentanyl in it. But a lot of the other drugs, like you'd mentioned, you put yourself. We got a poison drug supply out there. And speaking of, finally, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear River Phoenix say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Oh, God, I don't know. I don't know. I think I would be really surprised if I went to heaven.
Well, yes.
And kind of bummed out. I mean, I feel like heaven's really boring.
Listen,
all the fun people are in hell,
I hear you.
Yeah.
I certainly hear you. I'm not about to condemn a young River Phoenix to hell, but I will agree with you that if we're going on to heaven to hell, I'm probably likely in hell, and most of the other party people are, I imagine.
Yes.
So you'd have to say, well, River, I'd leave my diary behind with you in heaven, and I'm going to hell. I'll see you later.
Yes, I'll see you.
Wonderful. Ryan Cunningham, here are your drug users.